Hello, this is me, Dark93, and this is a Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live episode 12 review. Now, basically, this episode was amazing. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. I thought it was going to be, on v Wakana. I thought it was going to be sort of like the Ito v Otoha episode, which was last episode. I thought it was going to be something like that. But this one, above and beyond. There was so much drama. There wasn't action, but there was drama. Like, during the dances, there was some drama. But, to be honest, I thought it was a very well-structured episode. They didn't introduce a character. They showed him. They showed a character that could be introduced later in the series. Of course, they showed Wakana's dance and her song. And we also saw something serious happen on. But of course, I will explain that in the review as we go on. So basically, episode starts off. We see that it's actually going to be on v Wakana. Maybe as everyone predicted. I don't know. But what ended up happening there is we see An. She says, "I have to win this for Kazuki-senpai." And no, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna beat that Wakana. And basically, Wakana says, "I'm gonna beat you to a pulp." Basically, talking to An, but not really talking to An. She was probably just thinking in her head, you know. So, what happens is then Ito's sitting back in the waiting area, and Naru goes up to her and she's like, "Ito-chan." But then Rine comes over with, apparently her solution to everything. No, not her solution to everything, but almost her answer to everything. Warm milk. Yeah, you heard me. Warm milk. And of course, Ito's like, "Thanks." So, in a calm manner. Then after that, Barry and Wakana have a talk. Wakana's like, "Yeah, it's sure a good thing that Rine didn't come, huh? Maybe I should hit 3 today." Like, all cocky. And then she also says, "Oh yeah, if Rine came, she would have been the first one to put up 4 jumps in an official competition." And of course, Baru just shrugs it off. She's like, "Alright, that's interesting." And basically tells Wakana, "We are at a rose. Don't fail. Just straight like that. Don't fail." Now, of course, Wakana is shocked by this. Anyone was shocked by this because, it's Edo Rose. It's expected, I guess, from Edo Rose. Because, Edo Rose is the big, the big dancing company, that is. I'm sorry. I was a bit confused. But yeah, they're the biggest dancing school, and they have prestige and everything. So why not? Now, of course, what happens after that's all settled is Wakana goes out for her. Before Wakana goes out for a dance, she's in the area before she puts her prism stones in. She makes a fortune. She shakes it. It's a hit. It's a miss. Her little chant, and basically looks at the stone that comes up. It's a blue stone. She says it's the pop stone. The pop stone stands for An, because the lovely would stand for Naru, the cool would stand for Ito, the pop would stand for An, the feminine would stand for Otoha, the ethnic would stand for Wakana herself, and unfortunately I do not know what Baru's would be. I know someone knows. If you want to put in the comments, go ahead and you can remind me, but I just don't know at this moment. So, basically, that's what happens. And then Wakana rolls again because she's scared of that, and then rolls her own. And basically she says, now victory is secured to be mine. Wakana goes out and does her dance. Her dance is, I liked it. I liked her dance. Their song was called, I believe it was Blowing in the Mind, if I'm right. I think. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I'm pretty sure it was Blowing in the Mind, and basically it was interesting. It was an interesting dance. I liked it. She did 2 jumps, which were Ethnic Splash, which is like the first jump for like everyone, and I mean everyone in this series. It's not getting old, but to have the same jump for everyone, just name it and color it differently, not really complaining, but a little creativity there. And basically, her second jump was walking flower waltz. Now her third jump, she yells third jump. We all think she's going to do a third jump. But what happens is Wakana remembers to what Beru said before and saying, don't fail. And Wakana stops her jump. She does a little twirl and then stops as the song stops. So, of course, everyone was cheering. They all thought, oh, yay, she did very well. She didn't fall. She did 2 jumps and such. I mean, Rene called 3 jumps, but she only did 2. So, and then Rene says, "Oh yeah, a wall built up in her heart." And basically, Wakana skates back, and then walks back, and asks if she did the right thing, and then yells to herself, "Of course she didn't." An is then shocked about what was shocked about what Wakana did. An's then scared, or she feels like she can't do it and such. And basically, Momo reinforces that by saying, at your skill level, you probably shouldn't have came here, and you probably shouldn't have signed up for this in the first place. Like, signed up for the tournament in the first place at your current skill level. And then An rebuts, I guess in a sort of way, and says, I'm going to do 3 jumps. Ku then asks her if she can handle 2. An says, I've done it a couple times in practice, but of course she's never really done it in a real show. So what happens is, I guess An then decides to go get ready. I mean, there isn't much besides the Ku and Naru running around to look for Rene. Naru meets that mystery man, holds her up, and then puts her down after she sees that it's Momo causing the commotion, not Rene. The mystery man walks away, and then we see Rene, like, right behind him. For some reason, like, right behind him. Like, Rene was listening the whole time and didn't say anything. Then what happens is Kazuki then goes to run for An, because he just wants to cheer her up and wants to give her a get going, But what happens is An is worried again, tells Kazuki her worries, and Kazuki pulls out a bag of senbei and eats one, and then tries to give it to An. Says, like, An, eat one, go ahead. It'll give you the energy. It'll give you the energy to knock him out. And basically, after a little talking to from Kazuki, saying you can do it, and, like, you're not going to do it if you tell yourself you're not going to. You should, like, you can do 3, 4, maybe even 5 or 6 if you have to, like, to get through it. And basically, what happens is An finally somewhat gives in and says, all right, eats a senbei cookie, and then runs out, and then goes out on stage. Now her song is Sweet Cooking Magic as usual. Her dance was the same as usual. But the weird thing is she tried 3 jumps. Her first jump was Pop Splash. Her second was Swinging Heart Rhythm. And here's the kicker. Her third jump was, what was it? Her third jump was Poppin' Candy Rocket. Yeah, you heard me, Poppin' Candy Rocket. And whose jump was that? Almost signature. Whose almost signature jump was that? Before the duos came in Aurora Dream. Yeah, that's right. Amamiya Rizumu. So, yeah, you can get the correlation on Rizumu. Everyone said just because of their blue color and such that An automatically goes with Rizumu. And, well, here's more proof. Poppin' Candy Rocket. Now what happens is when An tries to land that third jump, she trips up, her skate flips. Now, of course, everyone if you've watched. I believe it was 43 in I believe it was episode 43 in Aurora Dream. If you watched that and you saw Rizumu trip, Hibiki yelled her name and she stood back up. Kazuki did not do the same thing, and An fell straight on her face with the skin marks behind her. Now when she gets up, Kazuki's like, "Oh, An, you did great," and basically An skates off. She goes back to Naru and the others. Of course, Naru and the others are shaken a little bit by what happened, and An says nothing. She's just mad, just staring for no reason, just staring. And then Rina goes up to her, hugs her, and says the wall's gone. An starts crying, says I couldn't do it. I built up a wall in my head, and basically I lost to myself. Wakana then, from the other side, says, "Oh yeah, like, if you were going to cry about it, then you shouldn't even bother. Like, that's what I hate about you." And basically, the final counts, I think it was 6,000... Hold on. Oh, sorry. 6,230 carats for Wakana and 2,440 carats for An. Basically resulting in another loss for Prism Stone. Another big loss. And in total, between the two competition or the two battles, Prism Stone is back 6,500. And that's basically the end of the episode. So, again, such a great episode. I loved it. Wakana's dance was ethnic. I was going to say cool, but that would be Ito. It was ethnic. I loved it. Like, the little feeling it gave me. An's dance was also good. The almost three jumps, that is. If she can hit those 3 jumps and get those wings again, as Rina explains, sorry if I didn't explain that, but what happens is when An went for the 3rd jump, she grew wings. She showed feathers, as they said. I'm calling them wings. They say feathers, I'm saying wings. They look like wings to me. They are not feathers. If they're feathers, they are some big feathers. But again, I will explain more in my preview review on what I expect to go on next. So again, thank you very much for watching this review, and I will see you guys later.